When it come on to the police, then you call them Google Gaga. You say the commissioner Google Gaga. When you done, you say Andrew Fiero and Cleopatra. So why you never ask Mark Golding why him is Lazarus? And I'm going to ask the questions that you never asked on Monday, Wayne. Mr. Golding. Mr. Golding, because some of you, know, when lonesome, I'm going to ask, I take it off because me in a serious warfare mode. So me can have it on and take it off, put it on, take it off. My head kind of under some serious heat. Make me cool down and calm down for true. Mark Golding in the garden hiding. Golding in the garden hiding. Hiding, hiding, we say, Golding in the garden, hiding, hiding from Andre. Yes, Mr. Lonesome and Mr. Golding. Mr. Lonesome, the questions that were asked on your program, did Mr. Golding ask for planned questions? Was that the term and conditions on which he came on the interview? Wayne Lonesome, I know they have a way of paying media houses for staged interviews. I know you're not somebody who can be compromised with money. Were you offered compensation for that interview? Wayne Lonesome, you are known to be a firecracker blogger that asks the most powerful, potent, strong, loaded questions. How is it then, is it a case that Mark Golding said the only way he would have come on this program is if you ask who Mark Golding. So, or is it a case that the questions are coming in a 3-phase interview? Who is Mark Golding? What are the plans of Mark Golding? And what we're not seeing of Mark Golding? Because I know you love to have follow-up interviews. Lazarus sleeping. Lazarus sleeping. So, Mr. Lonesome, the question about corruption, what would the opposition have done differently? What about if there was a compromise and we need to form a coalition government? You were totally distracted and you deflected from the truth, Wayne Lonesome. And your constituents, which includes people like Andre Stevens and many other Jamaicans who are feeling the brunt of a sleeping opposition, is asking you today, Wayne Lonesome, are you comfortable with the level of interview that you did? I can't help Mr. Golding to come forward because here's why I'm going to say this to you. I messaged Mark Golding several times.
Good day, my wonderful people. It's me again, the great, one more great countryman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And hit your notification button. Country girl, country boss, me nah hear from you. Trini boss, me have to go call you dog, cause me nah hear from you. And me I drop something on Trinidad dog, cause me nah hear nothing from you. Kinda worried. Yo, Rebel, Nuclear, all of the crew there, I'm gonna big up on myself. See? Yo, this guy, Andre Stevens, I hate to admit it, but he does have a point. Because I'm gonna analyze, I like breaking down and analyzing things. He's a little bit scratchy mentally, and you know, we know him sexual orientation. He is right about Mark Golding. And I think what he's trying to say is that the political system in Jamaica is flawed. Now, I'm gonna play another clip where he's talking about Wayne LONESOME, and then I'm gonna elaborate on that. Let's go.
Nobody knows who really the leader of the opposition is. Some will say Portia, but those who don't really know the politics will say it's Dr. Peter Phillips. And those who really know the politics, they will say we have a sleeping leader of the opposition. So, it's not a matter of being a yes man or a no man. It's a matter of what is truth, right, and ethical.
No, he is right. This young man is right. Because, let me tell you something. The political system is flawed. Every Jamaican should have a shot at the Prime Minister role. But the way all the political party them set up where you have the comrades, which are the regular Joe. Then you have a party secretary. Then you have an interior secretary. Then you have a panel of this. Then you have a vice president in the party. Then you have a this. Listen, if you are not unpicked to be in the upper of the party, you're not going to get anywhere in the political arena. No, I know die-hearted political people. I'm not calling them, but I know die-hearted political people. Because I grew up in the whole of Jamaica was politicalized. Politicized or politicalized, yo. Sorry, I smoke a ziggy. But the people that were me, know, including Super Cat, fight for politics and them not get no time. You understand? The people them like Super Cat and other people were me, know, who fought for politicians. And at that time, it was more like political warfare, but a lot of it was more for the social justice of the people then. So people were more into Jamaica as a country, Jamaica first, country first. All that has gone. So this guy right here, what he's saying about Mr. Golding, unfortunately, and the PMP, he's right. Let's move on.
So if Wayne LONESOME calls the Commissioner of Police Gugu Gaga, he agrees that Andrew Holness is Pharaoh. I told him that Mark Golding is a sleeping. He has been like a Lazarus. He has been very sleeping in the parliament. He's asking no questions. It's when me asks for the Commissioner of Police to resign, Mark Golding come out with his unkept, very much unruly General Secretary and said, boy, the General Secretary said there's a black JLP carrying colorism in the parliament and the politics. And Mark Golding come and give the Commissioner of Police 60 days to resign. I expected that Wayne LONESOME, being the advocate he is, that I know him to have been, would have asked Mark Golding several hot topic questions about the today's politics. Not politics 2017. We don't need to know that Mark Golding is a businessman. That is already established. And in 2022, if we have to be knowing that about Mark Golding, something is fundamentally wrong with the marketing of the People's National Party.
Sad to say it again, but this madman, Andre, he is right. there is something fundamentally wrong with the marketing of the whole political parties in Jamaica. Wayne Lonesome, he is right too. Andre is right, because that's who I started seeing him on, Wayne Lonesome. And Wayne Lonesome is a big time advocate. And for him to have Mark Golding, and do not ask the man the right question at all about Mark Golding, a businessman, he was starstruck. And then what he did, but I'm gonna play the rest of the video, but he is right about Mark Golding and Wayne Lonesome, you understand? And he is also right about how long it took him to get popular. And people know him more than they know Mark Golding. And also, he is right about the JLP. It's sad to say. No, Andre is a little bit crazy and loopy, but my father always said, Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. Let's go.
I want you to share the live because I'm going to teach some of them something who say they are bloggers and vloggers. I coming into the territory. And it took me a month. I've not had a social media page in terms of a YouTube channel. And I want the bloggers to know, I strategically did not form a YouTube channel because I want people to follow more of Wayne Lonesome, more of Talking Mind, more of Motor Massey. Because I am not selfish. I am not burning any bridges. And that's why I said, I respect Mr. Wayne Lonesome. I respect Mr. Wayne Lonesome, and I respect you hear me say, big up to the elders that have been fighting for a better Jamaica, even before I started to talk. But Wayne Lonesome and I talk almost every day, and I said to him at 3:44 yesterday, I was very disappointed. Very disappointed in your interview with Mark Golding, and I told him it's the weakest interview I've seen he has done, and he make it seem he came off very compromised. I told him that. Real stools. I told him that. Rather than Wayne Lonesome accept and call me, he went on a platform to have a conversation about what Andre Stevens is doing and what Andre Stevens is not doing. Wayne Lonesome, I respect that they are detractors.
Once again, this young man is right. But before I go, I want to big up Undocumented. Big up yourself every time. And if you don't like what I do, tell a friend, share this thing. You understand? Share this thing. And watch it to the end of the video and click on another video similar. Now, what he's saying about Wayne Lonesome is a sellout. And what he did, he sold this young man out. And Andre is right. Because, now, Andre been on this program many times. And instead of Wayne Lonesome bring Andre upon the program and talk to him about the situation with him and the Chinese young lady that they're at home, he went on another program slandering or talking about this young man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Wayne Lonesome, countryman say you lose your credibility, at least with me, because it tells me that you're wishy-washy. You promote this you know, freedom fight and you fight for people rights and things. But then when you see Mark Golding, it's like you say, how him say, Moses. And I'm quite sure if he talks to the Prime Minister or anybody in political ring, him still are gonna be starstruck. You understand? And then this youth yeah, him confident yeah, for come on your program and talk about certain things. And what you did, instead of contacting him and bring him back on the program and keep your credibility, you go behind the youth back. Yo, we ain't lonesome. Let me tell you something. I don't see your style, you know. You are one elder and you are one OG. A man like you know always play both sides. Let's go. One more thing I wanted to say. No